What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. Now, the past couple of days, we've been pretty much tracking most of these major cryptocurrencies, as you guys can see here, and they've pretty much been trending inside what appears to be some sort of sideways channel. As you guys can clearly tell on XRP, there's a bottom support at 30 cents and a top resistance capped at about 38 cents. And we've been pretty much trading inside of here for quite some time. I'd say the beginning was pretty much confirmed June 13th, and since then we've been trending sideways. So ultimately, we've been seeing quite a long time of this sideways consolidation. I just want to pull up the date range here, where you guys can see for the most part we've been trading in here for over a month, which is quite a lot of consolidation if you ask me. And it's not just within XRP, it's within pretty much every single major cryptocurrency. We've been seeing tons of the sideways trading. Same thing applies itself with Ethereum, starting also June 13th until today, over a month, 37 days. And you can see we've been creating bottom supports, top resistances, price ceiling clearly capped at $12.40, bottom support clearly capped at $1,000. And we've been literally just trending and bouncing inside of here, managing to break outside of our descending channel, which is definitely a good sign. Like, even if I wanted to adjust this to make this accurate, it really doesn't line up. So this is the ideal descending channel that we've been trending in. And as you can see, we've been seeing this sideways consolidation. Whether or not this will end up being a triple bottom will only be confirmed if we can break through this top resistance here. We've had 1, 2, this is third confirmation of what could be a triple bottom. If we break through 1250 on Ethereum's charts, which we might not see until probably Monday because the S&P is closed on the weekends, and typically crypto doesn't really like to see much movements on the weekends. But until we can confirm breaking through this resistance here, we're not in a triple bottom just yet, but we are still seeing mega consolidation, which ultimately leads to, as you guys know in crypto, big breakouts or big breakdowns, which is what we're going to try to track in today's video. You can also see the same thing is happening within Bitcoin. Bitcoin, however, is still inside its, descending channel here with clear supports. And as you guys can tell, we're now also seeing what could be a triple bottom formation. However, we are below major resistances and downtrends here. So we just kind of have to let these markets play out. The same thing can be said about the S&P 500, which I didn't show you guys yesterday, but last night I was playing around with the charts and I noticed that we are forming some sort of symmetrical triangle, which we're also going to see if that can be applied to any of these other cryptocurrencies. I know the S&P and crypto is different, but they usually have some overlap here. And you guys can clearly see the higher lows and lower highs. Mega resistance here you could see on this downtrend, and this will ultimately, let us break out at some point or another. So that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about today. Now, with that being said, today's video is brought to us by Bit.com, a new exchange, which you guys should definitely check out. More information about Bit.com is in the description down below. But as you guys can see here, Bit.com offers quite a lot of things. You have trading, you have spot, you have futures, you have options, innovations, promotions, data, tons of information. Obviously, if you want to know more about them, you click on that. But as you guys can see here, it's crypto trading made easy. They have unified margin, portfolio margin, multiple trading products. Obviously, I like to put on different exchanges on our channel here so that you guys can get used to and see the differences in exchanges, because not all exchanges are exactly the same. So more information about Bit.com will be at the end of today's video. Definitely make sure to stick around for that. With that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So as you guys can see here, top 10 cryptocurrencies, everything is pretty much consolidating. Everything over the past 24 hours is down about 1% here, but there's really zero to very little movement in every single cryptocurrency here. Now, what I wanted to start off talking about, as you guys know, we had June's inflation data, which I've been mentioning the past couple of days. But for those that are new, June inflation data came out, which said we were going to be, which confirmed 9.1% inflation over the month, which we figured would happen because analysts and economists were already reporting about 8.8 to 9%. So 9.1 isn't much of a stretch outside of that region here. Now, that's good news because we knew this was coming, and markets like certainty, and because we figured this would happen here, we actually managed to bounce off quite nicely. The last time we had inflation reports for May, you can see what happened. We saw a major dump in the markets here, a major dump and correction here, which was caused by the inflation fears because we thought May would be lower. than April, and it wasn't the case, and that's why we saw this major dump here. Now we saw the opposite happen, and we're starting to correct up, which is definitely a good sign. But as you guys can see, there is some sort of, and we could jump to the 4 hour, some sort of symmetrical triangle forming here, where you can clearly see bottom supports, 1, 2. You know, kind of like this kind of formation that's forming here. We didn't have that, but more so something like this. You can see whether there's support here or just an uptrend here. We are seeing resistances and supports, and it's ultimately confirming and, you know, proving a pattern of symmetrical triangle. And you can see this is something that we can track and record and figure out when breakouts could happen, which seems to be at the end of this month, which is another 2 weeks. I know it's boring and unfortunate, but it is a good sign. And we could very easily break outside of the symmetrical triangle earlier than we have expected. Now, XRP is also seeing something similar. Now, I didn't notice it here, but I figured if we're seeing symmetrical triangles form on the S&P, we might be able to, you know, overlay this onto some other cryptos. And you could see for XRP, when I jump to like the 3 hour charts here, I'm starting to notice a pattern here, not necessarily a symmetrical triangle, but I could definitely draw a resistance. We could start it here if it lets me. We could start it here and start to scale lower. Notice here, top resistance was June 10th. Next resistance we're seeing is June 24th. We hit another one. July 8th, we had another one. July 15th, we had another one today, July 16th. So notice here, if I just continue to scale this out, we have multiple retests of mega resistance up here. Mega resistance, June 10th, 23rd, July 8th, July 15th, July 16th. You can see the pattern that's forming here. Now, I can't necessarily draw bottom support, and that's fine. We don't necessarily need that. I mean, I could probably get away with something along the lines of this. Maybe if I jump to the 4 hour, we'll get a better overview. Something along the lines of this is definitely a possibility. Whether that ends there or not is honestly quite difficult, but there is definitely a resistance that's forming here, and I feel like that's more or less more necessary and easier to kind of define. And honestly, I feel like I could extend this even further, which is freaky how much of a kind of descending triangle we're forming now. So if I jump to the daily, you guys can see that we are forming some sort of descending triangle, and prices since breaking outside of this descending channel has been forming this this sort of resistance. The top is the highest point, the top point that XRP can travel to. So ultimately, what we're looking for here is a break above this resistance, which is actually quite exciting and means we could see a buying opportunity. Also, this ends the end of June here, or sorry, the end of July, very similar with the S&P 500, which ends the end of July here. XRP is seemingly forming this descending triangle, which once confirmed breaking above this mega resistance would be a huge buying opportunity. So we've been tracking this. We have to pay very close attention to how we consolidate, fill in this gap. We're clearly creating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lower high formations here. Once we break through this major resistance on the daily, we can buy in with expectations of seeing a run with a target level closer to 50 cents here, which is quite exciting. So we need to wait for confirmation here. We're probably going to continue to fill in the gap, but we could easily break out earlier. Once we can confirm closing above this blue line here, we can buy in with expectations of at least seeing a run up to 38, if not 45 cents here, which we can obviously confirm on your favorite exchange. Not only that, we're starting to see similar movements and patterns within Ethereum and Bitcoin. Not necessarily a triangle here, but this could ultimately help gauge when the breakout's going to come. But you can see we're seeing similar movements of consolidation within Ethereum and similar movements of consolidation within Bitcoin too. So what we're looking for is confirmations of breaches above resistances here. So for Bitcoin, it's closer to about 22.6. Ethereum, it's where we're retesting at $1,250. Once we confirm breaking above these major resistances, they will open up key buying opportunities that we can take advantage of on daily charts. So it's quite exciting that we're finally starting to see some sort of trend, some sort of technical pattern that we can now use to gauge when breakouts are going to come, or breakdowns. As we know, we could easily break through bottom support, 30 cents on XRP, and stumble quite low. So we have to keep a close eye on these markets here, as well as the S&P 500. We had most of the information. I believe we had second quarter earnings already come out. I believe second quarter earnings have already came out 2 days ago. Not sure how I can correlate these, but they definitely already came out, which is quite interesting. And I guess the markets reacted positively, which is also a good sign. Maybe if I type in CNBC, we can get some information about this. Top's profit estimate: bank benefits from rising interest rates. So it seems like we're doing well. Wells Fargo profit falls as the bank sets aside funds for bad loans. Wow, that's interesting too. JP Morgan Chase earnings fell 28% after building reserves for bad loans. Wow. Okay. Interesting here. Earnings fell as analysts' expectations as the bank built reserves for bad loans by 428 million. Shares of the bank fell nearly 5%. So they're not profiting because they're not, giving this money out to be, to be lent. They're actually building a reserve for loans that they plan on and suspended share buybacks. They actually are holding money for loans that they plan on seeing defaults, which is kind of scary because that tells you where these markets are thinking. They're expecting to see mortgage defaults and personal loan defaults, and they have money to basically cover themselves in case of that. So scary stuff coming for these markets, guys. Very, very, very scary stuff. But with that being said, I do have more information about Bit.com for you. I want to give a huge shout out to Bit.com for sponsoring today's episode. As with all cryptocurrency projects, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. So guys, Bit.com is a full suite cryptocurrency exchange and spin-off from Matrixport. Now, Matrixport was established in 2019 as a crypto bank valued at $1 billion in 2021, and Bit.com was established in August of 2020. Now, in terms of trading volume, Bit.com is the top 3 in crypto options markets. Bit.com is dedicated to providing services such as price discovery, trading strategy execution, and liquidity provision. Now, Bit.com is constantly pushing the boundaries of financial product innovation by listing new and exciting tokens for their users. Now, Bit.com is one of the fastest growing up-and-coming crypto platforms that offers crypto options trading, which is something you do not find on many exchanges. Now, they have low fees, reliable and secure platforms, as well as no downtimes or overloads. And top liquidity is provided globally by tier 1 market makers, and they offer up to 50x leverage with futures and 10x with options. They also have top-notch security, which is safeguarded by their cutting-edge custodian infrastructure from Cactus custody and user protection as well. Now, Bit.com is fully compatible with iOS and Android and available on the App Store, and their daily airdrop feature on the mobile app allows users to actually get up to 10,350 Satoshis of free Bitcoin just by checking in every day on the app. They even have a new savings feature where the mobile app users can actually earn 80% APY for 8 days on over 20 plus cryptocurrencies after completing one USDT-M futures trade. Now, they also support deposits and withdrawals for TON or TON native protocol and introduce 200 APY savings. What's even cooler is Bit.com also offers a unified margin feature, which is located on the lower right of spot and futures page, which is not offered on many exchanges, as well as their RMM strategy. You see, unified margin means you can trade spot, margin, perpetual, futures, and options in the same account without transferring funds back and forth between multiple accounts. Now, as long as your USD total available balance is sufficient, you can sell a currency or trade derivatives even if your available balance of the settlement currency is insufficient. In this case, the system will complete the trade through borrowing. This means that you can trade spot and derivatives settled in all currencies with just one currency as margin. And guys, RMM strategy stands for rebalancing market making, and it's an innovative tool used to place orders automatically. Now, RMM helps crypto investors rebalance their portfolios automatically to the initial fixed ratio. This means it's used in calculating the ratio of 2 crypto assets available in the investor's portfolio based on the initial total funds, including virtual and real and even actual funds, and placing orders based on the configured threshold and the balance ratio. Now, if you're still confused, because I know it's a lot of information, you can find more info on their website. But guys, if you want to check out Bit.com, make sure to check them out down in the description of today's video, where new signups can receive a deposit bonus of up to $5 to $150. Otherwise, guys, make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.